Hey YouTube, Kevin Cleary here with a knife video. I'm sitting off to the side because I'm going to zoom in a second to show you some of these blades, but before I do that, I want to go through my EDC because I have a little dilemma that I'm hoping maybe you can help me out with. The stuff that I have been carrying is about the same. Still carrying the ThruNite Ti3, fantastic little light. Just love this light. It's I don't know, I don't think there's anything better in terms of an EDC light. I always carry a flash drive because I find myself using them all the time. Even if someone says, hey, I've got something for you, a book or a file, whatever. I've been carrying the Squirt. It has sort of beat out the style in my pocket. I really, really like this. And I've been carrying a larger lighter, still just a dollar store lighter, but I moved away from the mini ones because there were a couple occasions in the last couple weeks where I needed a lighter more than once. And what I found with the little mini lighters is by like the third or fourth try, they weren't reliable anymore. Okay, so I went to a bigger lighter and that's been fine. I may try to find a mini lighter that's more reliable. Okay, so here's my dilemma. This is how I've been carrying all of my EDC stuff, including all of like my wallet stuff, my cards and ID and all that stuff. Okay, I gotta tell you, I do not like this system. It all started on a day, it was really hot and uncomfortable, my wallet broke, and so I was like, what am I going to do? So I walked into a store, they had this case, and I'm like, you know what, that case could hold my wallet stuff and my EDC stuff, so let's try it. So I picked it up. It does have a strap on the back for your belt. Here's my problem with that. One, when you put this on and off, it's annoying to have it hanging off you. So I'm like, hey, you put your belt on, you got to strap it through. So you get where you're going to go, or you want to try ride in the car, whatever, and you say, I'd like to have this off. Well, you can't. It's stuck to you until you take your whole belt off, pull it off, put the belt back on. That's annoying as crap to me, okay? I need something that clips if I'm going to do this at all. So, what are your suggestions? It's got to be better than this. This thing is not working for me at all. It's too uncomfortable. I forget it sometimes. It's no good. And it's not that I can't carry something with me. I'm going to give you this as an example. This is my pager for the fire department. I keep this with me every waking moment, and even when I'm sleeping moments. I have no problem keeping it with me, and the difference between this and this is the clip. Okay, this I can clip to my belt. When I get somewhere and I'm going to sit down, I'm driving in the car, whatever, I can unclip it, throw it in a cup holder, put it on my desk, whatever I want. Then when I get up, I clip it back on and do what I'm going to do. When I get back down, you know, the clip makes all the difference. So this, it may be a little too big. If anyone could find something, if you can recommend something like this, but maybe a little bit thinner and with a clip. I've looked and looked. I've looked at Maxpedition stuff. I've looked at other stuff. I can't really find anything that works. So I honestly, at this moment, I don't know what I'm going to do with my EDC, but I know it's not going to be this for much longer. Okay, I may just put this stuff back in my pocket and get like one of those slim wallets that just holds cards. I don't know. Okay, I would really appreciate your recommendations on that. Now, let's get into the stuff that you guys really clicked on this video for, and that is the knives. I'm going to zoom in a little bit where my face is still on camera, but I'm a little closer so I can show you this stuff a little easier. And I've got all this space with my hand in it to show you the knives. So let me start off with some stuff that I've been carrying sort of as like a gentleman's folder on days where I don't need anything hard use, where I'm just maybe going to the church to teach a class, and I'm going to be home in an hour, or I'm going to worship in the morning, I'm going to preach, whatever. Those times where I'm very, very, very confident I don't need a sort of hard use knife, I've been carrying the Boker Kwaiken. Now I think this would work as an EDC as well. I don't think it's necessarily just a gentleman's folder, but that's how I use it and that's how I like it. I love this knife. I love the way the anodizing came out on the titanium. This is one of my favorite sort of budget-friendly, just classy folders. It's just such a cool blade. I love the way that it looks different. It feels different than a lot of stuff that's out there on the market. Great, great blade. And of course, this is the titanium EOS 8. I think now if you buy the titanium, it's got VG10 steel. But yeah, I love this knife. The next thing that I want to show you that I have been carrying is the Custom Knife Factory Garza. I love this knife. Again, it's very attractive, very, very useful. It's a very practical knife. Here's my only issue with this knife. It's a little too pretty for me. It's a little too fancy. I constantly find myself worrying when I've got this. I'm like, in the back of my mind, it's always there in my pocket. It's not. It's like people that complain about a heavy knife. They constantly are reminded that it's there. I have the same problem with this, only because of the finishes on it. It's so perfectly done. It's so gorgeous that I'm always worried that I'm going to scratch it or ding it or something. And so that is really problematic to me. Other than that, this is a fantastic knife. Notice even now, I'm going to put it right back in the bag because I'm just a little bit afraid of it, okay? One other knife that I've been mostly carrying is a gentleman's folder, but this is going to transition because I carry this for EDC as well. This is the Benchmade Emissary. Great little knife, okay? It's a little small for me, which is why I don't carry it as a standard EDC most of the time, although I do sometimes. This is a gorgeous, just functional knife. I love the blade shape. I love the size and weight. When you want sort of something a little smaller and but you don't want to give up a lot of functionality, this is a great option. Now I know this knife gets criticism because of its price point. And I'm going to make a video. I've got some knives that I'm going to make a video about, like pricing and why pricing and what you should pay and what you can do about it. So that's coming up, and this knife will be in there because this gets a lot of criticism for its price point. But that aside, and I'll say this, I paid a very good price for this. I paid about what you normally pay for a brand new PM2. And so I was really, really happy with the price. I really, really like this knife, okay? Very classy, very elegant, just a beautiful little blade, extremely well put together. You know, one thing that Benchmade does do is high quality, and that's evident in this blade. But, as I say, it's pretty pricey, and it's a little small for me. Not super small, but a little. I have been carrying that, of course, for review, so you can expect a review coming up in the next few weeks or so on that. Let's see, what else? Here's a blade that is never far away. Even on the times this knife doesn't make it into my most EDC video, the Paramilitary 2 is an all-time favorite of mine, and even though it may not be my most carried, I don't think a whole month ever goes by that I don't carry this sometimes. This is the S35 VN version, and it's the one I seem to prefer right now. I've got the standard one and I've got the LMAX, but I just like carrying this one for some reason. It's one of my favorite variations. I like the tan handle scale with the satin finish. Just think it looks really cool. So anyway, yeah, Paramilitary 2, I don't think there's much that needs to be said. Just a practically perfect EDC, and it's been with me quite often. Now, I do every once in a while go back, and this time I saw a video from Cutters, and he was talking about some of his favorite knives, some of his like most carried or whatever. He's got like Cutters something picks or something. Anyway, he did a video on this knife. This is the CRKT Eraser, designed by Liang Ma. This is a great knife. It's seriously, this is one of the best knives CRKT has ever put out, I think. Yes, it's a little different. Yes, it's big, but it's just really cool. I like that it's different. I love the blade shape. It's a very practical blade shape. There's a whole lot to love about this knife. I really, really like it. So I've been carrying this. The other knife that I should mention, the Fossil, is another great CRKT. You know, this guy is a budget-friendly knife, but man, it's just big and cool and different. The blade is absolutely gorgeous on this knife. So this is one that, yeah, has been finding its way into my pocket a little more lately, even though I had kind of taken a break from it. Here's another CRKT that got a lot of attention. This knife is the Hootenanny, and it flips so well and carries so easily. This is a really nice knife. I think this is a real success for CRKT. I hope it sells really well. I hope others find it as nice as I find it. Not expensive, not at all, but very nice to carry, very functional, and very easy to carry. So yeah, the Hootenanny's been in my pocket a lot the last month. Now, another one that I've been carrying for review is the ProTech TR4. I think that stands for Tactical Response. This is a really cool blade. One I've really enjoyed carrying. I really like, it's a large knife, but the blade shape is actually really functional. It's a nice EDC because it's, even though it's large, it's not insanely heavy. It carries really nicely. It doesn't take up a huge amount of pocket space, and the blade shape is great for EDC tasks. I know Tactical Response would indicate, hey, this is a blade that's all about, you know, combat, and I think it would function well in that role, but it's a nice, flat, very thin grind, so this thing slices like you wouldn't believe, and it's really, really good for EDC tasks. Plus, this extra little choil here allows you to choke up and get some really fine work done when you need to. So I really, really have been liking this. And this is another one that you can expect a review coming up. Now, for a while, I made a mistake and traded my Sebenza 25. This is one of the best knives, just period. Okay? It is a fantastic blade. Now, for me, the 25 is preferable to the 21 because I do prefer a little beefier of a knife, and the 25 is a little beefier than the 21. I love this blade. It's just one of those knives that the only drawback is price, okay? And I understand that there are a lot of you watching this who are going, it's just not realistic for me to spend $400 on a knife. Now, one, I will say this, when you're a collector, you sometimes have, you know, I can sell a couple things and hit those higher price points. It's not like I have to take the full $400 hit. Also, I did get a good price on this, and so it was like kind of a nice trade-off. I sold a couple things, so I had most of the money I needed, you know, and I threw in, you know, 50, 60 bucks and was able to finance this guy. Love the Sebenza 25, and really, really pleased to have it back in the collection. Even though, if you're watching, I'm glad you got a 25. They're a great blade. I got a good return on it. You know, I got a couple blades back in trade that were really nice blades, and I really enjoyed them. But boy, I'm glad to have a 25 back. I really missed it while it was gone. Another knife, by the way, I've been carrying this a lot, and I will give you an update. If you watched the review of this, you remember there were some issues. One was the pivot screw would not stay tight. That's been fixed. All I did was wrap, you know, 3 times some silicone plumber's tape around it, put it in, and it hasn't moved ever since. And it's been a long time. Thousands of flips. It's been like over a month since I fixed it, and now it's just right on. I should have probably done a little update video, but this is going to serve that role as well. So if you watch the initial review of this, then now I can tell you I have no issues. It's fixed, I carry it all the time, and I actually really, really like this. I'm totally, totally pleased with this knife, and how all of those little issues have turned out. Let's see, is that everything? I think I've shown you everything. So there you go, guys. Those are my most carried knives. Just very quickly one more time, I will show you. I don't know if I'm going to get it in the right order. Benchmade Emissary, ProTech TR4, Sebenza 25, Para 2, CRKT Hootenanny. I hate that name, by the way. Love the knife. CRKT Eraser, ZT-0562. This is the M390 in carbon fiber. Boker Quaken, titanium version, and finally the Custom Knife Factory Garza. So there you go, guys. Those are the knives that have been most often in my pocket for, let me zoom back out, for the month of May. I'll do another one of these when we get to July. It's incredible how quickly time passes, but I hope you enjoy the video, and if you have any questions about any of those blades you want to ask, feel free to comment below. More importantly though, I do want some feedback about my EDC question. I've got to find a better thing than this case, and I'm sure there's something out there, I just don't know what it is yet. So if you've got some ideas for me, go ahead and comment below, and we'll talk to you soon.